Hello everyone. Welcome to this another video of Spring REST playlist. I'm Abhishek Verma and in today's video we are going to learn an advanced topic of Spring REST, that is HATEOAS, which means hypertext as the engine of application state. Trust me, it was very difficult to remember the full form, and the same difficult it is going to implement it in our code. But the question is, why do we need to implement this in our code? What is the benefit of implementing it? So we are going to learn that also. Beside this, we will also learn something about Richardson maturity model. We will see that till now we were at which level and today we are going to reach at which level. So without wasting any more time, let's directly get started and see how the things are going to look like. So now we are in the IDE. And as always, before we start with our today's demo, first of all, let's do a quick recap and see what we did in the previous demo number 15. For this, I will go here and then I will be going to this UML diagram. And here, I'm going to increase the size a bit and I hope it is much more clearly visible. Let me go here. So as you see that we are having a demo class here. Then from the demo class, we were moving towards the controller layer. Then from the controller, we move towards the service layer. Then service is having an interface and implementation layer. Then from service, we are moving towards the repository layer. Now in the service, we are doing the job of converting entity to DTO. And for this, we are taking help of owner mapper and owner pet info mapper. Besides this, we are having a exception controller advice also. Then we are having the DTO classes. Among the owner DTO and pet DTO, we are having one-on-one relationship. Under pet, we have domestic pet and the wild pet. Then, besides this, we are also having the entity classes here. So we are having the base, we are having owner, we are having pet. Again, between owner and pet, we have one-to-one relationship. And under pet, we are having domestic pet and the wild pet. Besides this, there are a few more extra DTOs like error DTO, owner pet info DTO, and we are also having the enums here. So that is how the overall application is going to look like. And we have been working on the same application since the beginning only. Yeah. So there is nothing new. But something new which we learned in the previous demo was about the course. So for this, I'll go here. So if you remember, I told you that course is something which stops your UI to interact with the backend. And it is not any kind of an issue, but actually it's a plus point. And because of it only, we are getting saved from so many scams which may have occurred in case course wasn't there. Yeah. But for the developers, how we can get over this course. I mean, how to overcome this issue of course. So for this, we saw various ways. And at the end, we concluded that this way, where we just need to implement WebMVC configurer and then we need to override a method add course mappings is one of the best way to solve the course issue. And more things you can see in the previous video because there I have shown you the complete UI also using which I have consumed these APIs. Yeah. So now let me just simply close it and let's move on towards our today's demo. So in today's demo, as of now, everything is same like one of the previous demos. And if I just go here to this particular one as controller and into this controller, so you will see that today we are having only 3 APIs. The first one is to save the owner, second one to get a particular owner, and the third one is to get all the owners. If I will start the demo from here, so let me just click on this. So you will see that it will get started in some time. And here, yeah, I guess it is getting started. So yeah, it has started. Let me just clear it and let's go to this Postman. So where it is, yeah. Here is the Postman. It has actually opened in my another screen. So let me just bring it up here. And here we can go to this demo 16. So you see this is the save owner. As of now, I'm not going to save anything new. This I will directly show you later on. But what I can show you is that I can show you this find owner. So let me try with this 73. So with this 73, we will see that, okay, this owner doesn't exist. So let me give it a try to this 72. And with this 72, we see that, okay, the owner is going to look something like this. So we are just providing the URL, we are getting the output, and it was very simple. And the another one was to find all the owners. Again, this also we have seen so many amount of times. Whenever we are going to invoke it, it is going to provide us the list of all the owners. And currently you see we are having in total 72 owners here. Okay. So there was nothing new in these two APIs which I have shown you as of now. Yeah. But then what is the new part here? So for this, let's again go back to this code and stop it somewhere here. Now, before we start making the changes related to HATEOAS, first of all, let's try to understand why do we need something like HATEOAS and how often should we include HATEOAS in our day-to-day application. So for this, I'll just quickly show you a small deck of only 4 slides. So let's directly move on there. So here we are in the presentation, guys, and as you can see the heading, it is Richardson Maturity Model. In short, we can call it as RMM. So Richardson is the person who introduced this maturity model. So let me just tell you a brief history about this. So what happens is that REST was there from a long time. But the problem was that every company, every project was making usage of REST in their own way. So someone was creating something like this, other person was creating REST in that particular way, because the reason is very simple. As we say, the REST is just an architectural style. It is not a protocol, something that if you will make something wrong here, then it is not going to work. Yeah, there are various ways to create these REST APIs. But then still there was a need that we should try to understand that how much our application is RESTful. Are we making proper usage of REST or not? Okay. So for that particular reason, this person wrote a blog, and because of that, it got famous also. Everyone started adopting that particular blog, and then they start calling it as Richardson Maturity Model in that person's name only. Yeah. So what it tells is, it says that for your application, there needs to be 4 levels of the maturity of your REST application. Yeah. The number basic level, okay, I won't call it as number 1 level, otherwise it may create some kind of confusion. So let me call it as the basic level. So the basic level is level 0. Okay. Now in level 0, what happens is our post APIs are going to look something like this. So as you can see, this is a post API. We are just calling it as /owners, and then this is my request body. So in the request body, you see that I'm providing the name and the city also. Okay. So this is not exactly same what we are using in our application, because then there will be too many variables. So I have cut short to only 2 variables here. So you see we are having name and city here, but we are not simply passing name and city. Instead, we are passing the action also here, that is the save owner. The reason for doing something like this is that in level 0, all your APIs are by default post only in nature. That is the number 1 thing. Second thing is, all APIs are going to look same only. That is /owners. So there is not going to be anything different in your APIs. So that's the only thing. Then you will say that, okay, Abhishek, how we will come to know whether it is going to save the owner, get the owner, or going to do something like this? So the answer is in front of you, that within the body, we will be providing a field known as action. And there we are going to provide whether it is going to save the owner, get owner, update owner, delete owner, or find all the owners. You can assume that it is something like mapping this particular term with your method name, or maybe some kind of further URL, further endpoint. But the point is, in your main URL, you are not going to provide. You have to provide it as a part of the action here. Okay. And the second one is to get the owners. So you see that both of them are going to look similar only. We are calling this also as post, and we are calling this also as post. This is also only /owners. This is also only /owners. The difference is basically in the body. Here in the action we mentioned save owner, and here in the action we are saying get owner. And then we are just passing the ID also here, and we are getting the response as always. Yeah? Now here, I have shown you this as the part of a JSON or in the format of a JSON. But in the reality, it can be in the format of an XML only, because before JSON, XML was one of the famous things. And hence, the name for this level is known as swamp of POX. That is plain old XML. Okay, so that is the name of it, and swamp is something like, okay, something very untidy. So you see, this is not very clean way of providing the APIs, providing the body request and something like this, and it seems very untidy way. Yeah, that was level 0. Yeah, this level 0 means that your application is not at all restful. Okay, because from the very first day onwards, I guess I told you that there are various ways of writing the REST APIs, and we were never writing something like this. Okay, so that's why we call that level 0 means that your application is not at all restful. Now let's move on to level 1. So this level 1 is basically the first level of your RESTful application. So that's why we call it as level 1. Besides this, that was not even the REST application. Okay. So here what will happen is that here now your API body and response are going to look something like this. So you will see there is a post, then we are saying owners, and then within the URL itself, we are saying save owner this time. So not as a part of an action, but within the URL itself. And then you will assume that, okay, it is very easy to map also, because on the class level, you can say /owners, and on the method level, you can say post mapping /save owner. Yeah, and in the body it will be just simply your body, because here we say your body is nothing but a resource. So from level 1 onwards, we will start considering it as a resource here. So this is your owner resource which we are passing, and in the response we are getting the integer resource. Then when we are saying get owner, so you see in the URL we are saying post again, and there in the URL itself we are saying get owner. Now in the body, we are passing the integer resource, and in the response, we are getting the owner resource. As simple as that. So this is level 1. Now again, you will relate that when we actually started with this RESTful, at that point of time, there was a confusion to us whether with the help of post, can we save the owner, get the owner, and do all the things. So I shown you that also, that just with the help of post, you can do all the operations. There is no need as such to go for post, get, put, delete, or patch or something like this. Just with the help of post, you can keep on doing everything. Because mainly that is, I mean, what you are writing in your methods internally. That logic depends. If your logic says that you are going to save the owner, so you will be actually saving the owner. If your logic says you are going to fetch the owner, so you are going to fetch the owner. Yep. But still, this is only the level 1 of RESTful application. And then we discussed that then why basically we are going for different things like post, get, put, patch, delete, and all these. Because to show our intent more clearly. Because it is not possible that I will say their post and then I'm trying to delete the owner or get the owner. That doesn't look nice. So it is all about the intent. So that's why in the very beginning itself, we started moving towards this level 2. And in the level 2, what we say is that your post is going to look something like this. Now in the URL, you can just simply say /owners. And most of the times you see that we have been doing something like this only. In the body, you can provide owner resource. Then in the response, you can get the integer resource. Yeah. And your get APIs are going to look something like this. Now in the, you will say here get, then you will say owners, and then you can provide owner ID as the path variable also. You don't need to pass anything in the body, and response you will be getting something like this. So the major point is that in level 2, you will start making usage of different verbs like post, get, put, delete, patch, and all these things. Okay. So that means that in your application, if you are not making better usage of all these verbs, you may be on level 1 only as of now. So you will go to level 2 only if you are making efficient usage of all these verbs. And that's why now you can say that till now, our application was already on level 2. In almost all the demos, we have made usage of level 2 only. I guess except the very first one, there it was level 1. And after that, we every time went for this level 2. Yeah. So this is how the things are going to look like. Now you will say that, okay, Abhishek, this seems good also, that, okay, here we are taking care of the, I mean, this particular resource also, we are taking care of these verbs also, the URL also looks simple. Then what's the issue? I mean, then what is new in this level 3? So Trust me, level 3 is something which we are going to touch today in our today's video. Okay. So let's see what is there in the level 3. So level 3 is going to look something like this. You will say that, okay, it is starting with post slash owners. We have already seen that. The body is also very common, which we have again already seen. But the response looks something different. Now in the response, we are not only providing the integer ID, but we are also providing something as underscore links. And then we are providing the link to get the owner. I mean, that's something strange. And then when we can say get owner, then it will look something like this. So here your get is looking the same way, your API is looking the same way, your response is also almost the same. Again, the only new part is underscore links. So this time in the links, you are telling that, okay, there is something as self, there is something as update owner, there is something as delete owner. So what is this? So this is basically level 3, which we will achieve by implementing HATEOAS in our application. So what it basically says, it says that your customer should be able to navigate through your application just with the help of a single response. So just assume a new customer came to your application. Now, what is the first thing which they are going to do? They are going to save the owner. So they will invoke this API. They will provide this particular input. Now in the output, what they will get? They are not only going to get the ID, but they will also get a link that, okay, with the help of this link, later on, you can get the owner. We are not forcing the owner that, okay, or we are not forcing the customer that, okay, you need to get the owner now only. But we are telling that this is one of the ways using which you can get the owner in the future. Yep. Then once they will say that, okay, let's try to execute this get owner, then we are going to provide them few more APIs. We are going to provide them self, which basically means the same API only which they have invoked. So again, when they will say slash owner slash one with get, they will be getting the same output only. But we are also telling them that if you wish, then this is the way to update the owner. If you wish to delete, then this is the way to delete the owner. Also, you can also say that, okay, this is a way to update a small thing like patch owner, or you can also say that, okay, this is the way to get all the owner details or something like this. It completely depends on you. So basically what we are doing is, with the help of our response, we are telling to our customer that this is the way you can navigate through my application. They don't need to do anything else. Okay, they just need to go through the response only, and they will be getting different URLs. Now the question is, how many URLs then we are going to provide? That completely depends on you. Okay, so this is your choice. If you wish, just with the help when they are saving at that point of time itself, if you wish, you can provide the URL to update the owner, delete the owner, get all owners, or what all different things. Yeah, so that is completely up to you. But HATEOAS basically means that now in your response, you will start providing these links, and that is all about HATEOAS. Yeah. So first of all, with the help of the code, let's try to understand that how to get these links in the response, whether it is going to be easy, whether it is going to be difficult. And then at the end, we are going to discuss that how often should we go for this particular level 3, that is HATEOAS, or should we remain happy with the level 2 only. Okay, but I hope this Richardson maturity model and all these levels are clear to you. If yes, then please do like the video and comment something that, yeah, the things are clear till now. So now we are in the IDE, guys, and as you can see that currently our application is on level 2. Why so? Because we are making usage of this post, get, and we have been using put also, delete also, patch also. Besides this, we are having different URLs. We are considering it as a resource also. Hence, this is level 2. But this is not level 3. Why? Because in the response, we were not providing the links. Now the question is how to provide those links and then move on towards level 3. So for this, first of all, we need to go to this pom.xml and somewhere here. And here we need to add a new dependency. So for this, I will just simply click here. And then, yeah, it is trying to fetch somewhere. Yeah, it works. And here we need to say HATEOAS. It is that simple. So we will be clicking on this one, say next. And here, let me convert it to a large screen. Now here I will click on this, and here I have shown you last time also how to go for this. So first of all, we will go through all these changes one by one. So I don't need this URL as of now. So I will just simply say next difference. I don't need this license also. I don't need this SCM also. And I just need this dependency that is related to HATEOAS. So I will click on this, that is copy current change from left to right. So this is how it is going to work. And you see that, okay, this is coming up here. Then still don't simply say finish. Instead, go on with the next difference. Maybe it is bringing something else also along with it. So let's click on next. So the next one is start a test. We don't want this. Let's again click on next. And yeah, that's it. There was no other change. So let's click on cancel and finish. So that's it. So you will see that in order to make usage of HATEOAS, the number one thing is we need to add the dependency of starter HATEOAS. It is that easy. Okay. So that's why I say Spring Boot is easy. Whatever you just need to add, you can just simply add it like this. Yeah. So let's click on this, and yeah, this is how the things are going to look like. But the question is adding the dependency enough? The answer is no. Adding a dependency is not enough here. Okay. We also need to make changes in our controller class, and that's it. You don't need to make change in any other layer. The only change will be in your methods. So currently you see that here we are returning the integer. Yeah, it's very simple. So when we are returning integer, it will show integer only. But what I want is I want to see some links and some extra things also in that particular response. So how we will see? So only integer is not going to work. So what we need to write here is we need to say something as entity, and then we need to say here model. So this is how it is going to look like. Entity model. Let me say Control Shift O, and yeah, this is going to work. Now you will see that this response entity is basically to customize the response along with our response. The entity model is so that it can contain my main integer also, my main response, along with that the extra links and everything. So that is entity model. But then I need to return here also entity model. So how can I do so? So for this, I will simply make a copy from this, and I'm going to paste it here, something like this. And here I will call it as entity model in this particular way. And then here I'm going to say entity model dot off, and within this I will be saying something this owner ID. Okay. So whatever you wish to return, you just need to mention that particular thing only. Yeah. And then after this, we need to copy this particular one from here, and we need to paste it here. And this is how the things are going to look like, guys. Entity model, and this we are returning. Now let's see whether it is going to work or not. So again, I have started it, and now this time let's see, will it start showing us the links or not? But the question is, which link is it going to show? I have not yet mentioned. So let's go here and click on send. So, okay, there is some error. It says could not write JSON, cannot write a number, expecting field name. Okay. So the problem is that this is just an integer. Okay. So entity model doesn't works alone with a integer, or you can say alone with some kind of string, some kind of primitive wrappers or anything like this. Okay. It needs a proper DTO object. So that means now just for this integer also, we need to make a proper DTO. And yeah, that is actually one of the best practices. We should not never return only the integer, only string or something like this. Here we were returning just for the demo purpose. Okay. So what we will do is we will go here, and here I'm going to create a new DTO. So let me just copy this one, arrow DTO. Yeah. So this is something which I generally do. So I will go here and I will say owner ID DTO. Any name you can keep, and this I should be capital here. So I will call it as owner ID DTO. I will click on this, and then I will be going here, and here what I want, sorry, not this one, but owner ID DTO. So this is the one. So here basically what do we want? Here we just want the integer. So here we are going to say integer, and it should be ID. Okay, let's call it as ID only. So here I'm going to say it as only ID, and we don't need all extra things. Okay, so only this much is sufficient for me. So I will be saying it like this, and yeah, nothing else, builder, all string. Yeah, so this much is going to work fine for me. If you wish, you can have those other kind of things also, which we have added in this owner DTO, like equals and hash code and include and something. But the point is, here we are having only one field, so by default only that will be included. Yeah, so nothing much to say. So yeah, this is how it is going to work fine. Owner ID DTO. So first of all, we need to create this. So here we will be saying owner ID DTO, and here let's call it as owner ID and this DTO in this particular way. And here what should we say? So we can call it like this, new of owner, and this is owner, and here let's say owner ID DTO. And here if you wish, you can just pass it on directly also, or if you wish, you can pass it on into this particular way also. That is, here you can say owner ID in this way, owner ID, and here you can say build. So this is how it is going to look like, guys. Owner ID DTO. So okay, here I made a spelling mistake, that's why it is not looking fine. Owner ID DTO. And here what's the issue? So it says there is no such method, owner ID. Okay, first of all it should be builder, and then I guess it needs to be ID. So this is how it is going to look like. It's very big just for a single variable. So I hope it is fine that if I directly make usage of this ID here. Okay, so instead of builder, let me try to directly go for this one, because only for one field writing something like this is very odd. Okay, so yeah, this is still better, owner ID DTO. And now what we need to do is that since we have created it as an object, now we can pass it on here, something like this. And obviously, this time it is not going to return the integer of entity model of integer, instead entity model of owner ID DTO. So here also let me make a small change, and yeah, Control Shift O and Control Shift F and Control S. So this is how it is going to look like. You will see it is becoming big, but yeah, you are going for level 3. You are enhancing your level. So things are going to become big here. So yeah, this is how it's going to look like. And now we can see that, okay, this demo 16 has started. Let's go back here. So now I'm hoping for some links in my response. So let me click on this one, and it says, okay, it is some duplicate entry. Okay, so last time also, I guess it actually added the thing. It was the only issue in the output part. So that's the issue. So what I will do is I will call it as 8 here, and then I will call it as 8 here, so that it will create a new mobile number, new email ID. Let's click on this send again. So now you see it is working fine. Okay, but the problem is we are still getting ID only. I mean, we were doing everything for those links. Where are those links? The point is, by default, those links are not going to come. I mean, how it will come to know which links it has to show? Okay, there is nothing like this. You have just mentioned entity model. So in order to get those links, what you need to do is we need to see something like this, entity model, this particular way. And just to make it clear for you as of now, let me give some space here. Okay, so that you can see on actually which part we are working. So entity model. So last time we were directly returning the entity model after creating. But this time, before returning, we need to do a bit more extra things. We need to add the links which we want to see in the output. So for this, the simple method is going to be add. Now within this add method, here we will be seeing something like this, that is web MVC, and that is going to be our link builder. So this one we need to make use of. So with the help of it, we will be creating a link. So here we will be saying it dot, and here we will be saying link, and then we are going to say link to. So to what we want to link. Okay, so here we will be providing that for which particular thing we want to link it on. So first of all, I will say that I wish to link to myself only, nothing else. Okay, so if that is the case, here we are going to say in this particular way again, that is web. So yeah, there it goes something like this. So here let me say again here web MVC, and then again I'm going to say link builder in this particular way, and then I'm going to say method on. So first of all, you also need to say that for which method is this link going to work. So this link is for the method owner controller. So it is coming from the owner controller. So this you need to mention. So here we are going to say owner controller, and then we need to say here class. So the link will point to this class only. Then which method of this particular class? Here we will be saying that for this class, you need to go for this method as save owner. See, the moment we are saying dot, it is showing us all the methods of this class. So we will say for save owner only. Okay. So there we are going to say save owner. So this is how we need to provide it in that particular way. Now, obviously, save owner is going to accept something. So that's why we are providing this owner detail only as of now. Although this is of no usage here. Okay, because here we are only providing the information to link only. Yeah, then afterwards, now this is becoming tricky, guys. Okay, here we need to carefully see that which bracket belongs to which particular part. So for this, what I will do is, first of all, I will bring this save owner a bit towards the next statement, so that now it becomes a bit more clear to me that where are we going. So save owner is for this. So here, if we just go back towards here, so this was the first bracket which is corresponding here, which means this bracket is extra here. Okay, and here we can say this. So now it is looking at least bit better. So here we said something, this add here, which corresponds to this. Then we were having this link to, which corresponds to this. Then we are having this one, which is corresponding here. And then we are saying save owner. So after this, the next one is, here we have mentioned the method that, okay, whenever the link will be invoked, it will be pointing to this method. But then what is the link? I mean, what will you call that particular link? There needs to be some name. Like if you remember in the PPT, I was saying get owner, update owner, or something like this. So what do we call it? So it is basically pointing to self only. So here I will be saying here with self rel. Okay, so here there are various different points. So I will be saying here with self rel. So this is how it is going to look. So now let me go here and start the things again. So basically what I have done, I've said entity model, then one add method. Now within this add method only, I'm providing these things. What the link, first of all, what should be the name of that link, which should be available there, and then to where it should point. To this same class, same method. Okay, that means you can point to any other class also, any other method also. So now let's go back here. This 75 has been already added. So let me make it as 7. Here also, let me make it as 7. And let's again click on this. So this time you see. So first of all, what it is showing? It is showing here underscore links. Automatically it came. Okay. So this is the by default thing, underscore links. Now, since you said self rel, that's why here it is coming as self. And then this is the same URL which you are pointing out. Okay. So automatically it came here, and now the things are very simple. We will follow this link and then we can again do the same things. Obviously you need to pass the input again and do all those things. Okay. So that was number one thing, guys. Now you will say that, okay, Abhishek, it is very simple that you are pointing to same. What if we want to point to any other method? Then what? So again, very simple. Now it is just a copy paste part after this. So let's again copy paste. So we will again say entity model, something like this. Okay, then we are going to say this dot here, and then again the same method, we will be saying add here. Then again within this we need to say the same thing. So it is going to be web MVC, and then it is going to be link, and then it is going to be builder, and then again we are going to say here link to. So again the same thing, this link to, and this is going to look like this. Here let's put this particular column. Now, instead of this get class, again, we need to mention exact class, exact method. So again, let's say, so here we are going to say web MVC, and here again, we are going to say this particular as builder. And again, we are going to say method on to which particular class. Here again and again, it keeps on showing me with these as 2 arguments, but I just need a single argument one. Okay, so I will be saying owner controller, and here I'm going to say class. Obviously there must be some overridden method, but we are overloaded method, but we are not interested in that as of now. We just want for this one. So this time I will call it as find owner. Okay, so this time I want for this find owner, and here obviously it wants some owner ID and something. So you can pass anything. Obviously we are not going to call, so if you wish you can keep it as 0 also. Otherwise the best option, because if you will pass 0 here, so there also it will show you 0 only. Okay, or as of now let me show you how this is going to look like. So we will keep it as 0, and after this what we are going to do here is that here with this one we are going to say another, that is with, and here after this with, this time instead of self rel we will be saying rel, and now what name. So when you are just going to say with rel, then you need to give some name also. Okay, then with what name it should going to look like. Okay, so here we say that okay, it should be as find owner. So this time it is linking to this find owner. Okay, so yeah, what is the issue here? It says unhandled exception. So this means it is going to throw me some kind of exception here. Okay, so this one wish to throw me some kind of exception, and that I need to handle here, guys. So that's a drawback for this particular part. Okay, so the drawback is that since this one find owner is going to throw the exception, owner not found exception, hence you need to mention the same here also. Although you also know this one is not going to throw any kind of exception here, you are only showing the link. How can only showing the link throw the exception? But this is how it is going to work. It is going to make the things a bit dirty. Okay, but then there is no other option. Okay, and here instead of saying this, what if we wish, we can see here return null or like whatever you wish. Okay, so you can do that. Okay, let's again save it and let's go back again here and see how the things are going to look like. Okay, so just by at this point of time, do you feel that HATEOAS is making your controller class dirty? But yeah, it is how the things are going to work. So yeah, obviously we need to make a change here first of all. So let's call it as 6, let's call it as a 6, and yeah, this is how it is going to work. So earlier we were having only self, now I got this as find owner because I explicitly named it as find owner only. That's why we see it as find owner under this only. And you see it is saying owners 0. So now what it is saying is that okay, although we have created this owner with ID 77, but in order to get, you need to give on this particular link. So owner 0, that doesn't looks nice. Okay, so that means that instead of providing here 0, it's better if you provide here that owner ID only, whatever it has created, so that you can show the same ID. Yeah, so that's gonna look nice here. Then after this, the next one. So the next one is we are having one more URL here, that is find all owners. So let's add that one also here. So for this again, what I will do is I will copy this part first of all, entity, and then I'm going to say this one here, and here what I will do is I will again say something like this. I will again say this particular link to, and here let me write it like this. Let me go here, and yeah, this is how it is going to look like. Within this again, I will be saying this method on here. So I will be saying method on, again I will be saying these brackets. Within that again, I will be saying this owner controller in this particular way dot class, and yeah, this is how it is going to look like. After this one, sorry, pointing here, yeah, pointing here again, after this I need to go for some another method. So here another method is find all owners. Luckily it is not throwing any kind of exception, so that's good for me. Otherwise for that also I need one more try catch here. Okay, so here it is how looking, and again here I will be saying with the rel in this particular way, guys, and here it's your wish, whatever you say. So here I will be saying find all owners. Okay, so I can see it like this, find all owners. So this is how it's gonna look like. Okay, so looking, you will say that okay, now our method is becoming big, but no worries, you are going for this level 3 also, so obviously it is going to become big. Okay, few small things which we can do here is that this big term is getting repeated again and again because this is a static import. Okay, so that's why it is coming like this. So what we will do is here, instead of importing it as a normal one, we are going to say it as static. Sorry, not there, I'm not sure why this keeps on happening with me. So here I will say static, and here I will be saying as dot star, and then I'm going to say okay, not that doesn't works. So dot star, and now what I will do is I will remove this particular part from here, and I will be removing this particular part also from here. Here also I have to do the same things. So with these static imports, there is this small issue. that for the first time you need to import as a normal, then you make it as a static, and then it will start working fine. You say Control Shift O, and automatically it will bring both these methods. Now this is looking much more simpler. Okay, so you see this is also one line, this is also one line, and then this is how it is going to look like. We can make it a bit more shorter. Okay, let me show you how. So what I will do is I will bring this find all owners before find owner somewhere here. Okay, now the benefit is that this time this add method, what it will do is it will again provide you entity model only. So instead of getting this entity model again and again, what you can do is you can just do it something like this, add. Okay, so this is with the first add, then this is second, and then this is third. Okay, obviously for this also you will say that, okay Abhishek, what if we want to do for this one also? So then you need to say it like this, but then it will not work. So then the only option is that I will move it somewhere here, I will keep it in between or there, and here I can say this one. Okay, but then the same, then you need to keep a try catch around that. So here let's bring all these as try catch. Okay, so now it won't be clear that which one is actually throwing the exception, but you don't need to worry for that also. Okay, so this one is going to look something like this. Okay, so entity model, three links. First one is pointing to self, second one is pointing to find an owner, and third one is to find all the owners. Now you can remove these extra lines because I hope it's clear to you. Okay, let me just give it a spin again. So here it is going to start, and this time I hope we will be getting the correct data. Okay, so I will go here and let me just do the same thing again. So I will say 5 here. Again, I'm going to say 5 here. I don't remember last time when I created so many users. Okay, so this first one pointing to the same, second one pointing to this 78 only. So what I will do is I will go here and I will say, okay, can I do something? Okay, I'll directly click, it will open in the new one, and here you see I can see this one. Okay, another option, I will go here, I will click on this one, it will open up in a new tab, and this is how it is going to work fine. So see, as a customer, as a user, I'm automatically navigating. I don't need to remember other URLs if I just know the first URL. Okay, so this is how it's going to work, guys. Okay, so we have done it for one, let's start doing it for the other two also. Okay, so let me just simply stop this one and let's go for this second one. Okay, so for this one, what to do? Okay, so here we are already getting the things. Okay, so let's try to do the same thing here. So first of all, number one change, first of all we need to make it entity model. This time I'm going to be a bit faster. So entity model, and here we are going to say it like this, and here also we are going to say it like this. Then the next one is we need to convert it to an actual entity model. So for this, what I will be doing is I should be copying this particular part from here, pasting it here, and then here I have to say it as entity, and then this one is going to look like this entity model. Then here I need to say it as entity, I need to say it as model dot off, and within this I need to provide this same owner detail. So this is owner detail, and yeah, this is how it is going to look. And in the body also, let me provide the same entity and this model. So this is how it is going to work. Now this one is not going to give us the error like the other one was giving, because by default this is a class owner detail. Okay, but the only thing which you need to do is you need to add all these links. So what I can do is I can simply copy and I can paste them here. Okay, so we can do it like this, you can easily do. And this time you will say that, okay, why is it not showing this exception throwing it here? Because why is it not showing? Because by default this method is throwing the exception. So what's the benefit of showing the same thing again? Okay, so that's why it is not showing. But now it is up to your thoughts. Okay, up to your intentions. Do you want to show save owner here? I basically don't love to show, so for that I'm going to remove it from here. I don't want to show that one. Okay, and since here with this find owner only you are showing this find owner, so this can't be with rel, instead it should be with self rel. Okay, and then we don't need to mention this. Yeah, although I would love to show find all owners here, so this one I'm interested, so I will show it like this and I will give it like this. Yeah, so this is how it is going to look like. And then let me do the same thing with this next one also. So again, For the next one, this is going to be a bit more tricky. Let's see why. So first of all, we are going to say here entity model. And okay, first of all, since that one is going to be tricky, let me show you how this second one is going to look like, guys. Okay, because trust me, third one is very difficult. It's not that easy. Okay, I'll show you why it is difficult. So this you have already seen. Now let's go on with this particular one, and let's say here 72. So here you see, this is how it is showing you. So this particular part is your main output, and then in the links it is showing two links. First one is pointing to self only. If you wish, you can point to the next one also, previous one also. That is your choice, but generally we should not do that. I mean, why do you want to show one user data of another user? Okay, but then it means that why do we want to show find all owners also? So it is completely up to the use case. Here my purpose is only to show you the demo, so that tomorrow your manager will ask you to implement HATEOAS. Then you will say that okay, Abhishek Verma didn't show us. So that you will learn here how to implement, and then you need to follow what your manager says, which all links your manager wants to show you here. Then you can show that. Okay, and you can also tell them whether this is possible or not. Okay, so that is my goal here, guys. Okay, after this, let's go for this last but not the least. Okay, and you will come to know why I'm showing you only these many, why not all the URLs here. Yeah, now here we will again say entity model, and here also we are going to say like this. Obviously it has already became big. Then after this time, this is entity model of a list. So this is going to look something like this, guys. And here let me go for this particular one, and here let me see entity, and here me see entity model list. Okay, so this time it is bigger one. So this is your entity model list. As of now, let me say null here. Okay, just as of now. Later on, I'm going to change it. And now this time, since it is entity model list, so here also let's start returning entity model list. And you will feel that okay, now this work is almost done. The only one thing which I will be doing is that I will be saying here entity model, something like this. I will be saying here off, and within this off, now what do we need to say? We just need to provide that content. So where is that? So here is my list. So let me just simply copy it and let me paste it somewhere here. So it is going to look something like this, and this is also looking great, guys. Okay, then after this, what the only thing left after this is I need to show the links. So obviously again I don't want to show the link to save the owner here, and I just want to show these two links. So let me copy, let me paste it here first of all, and the first link I want to show it as self rel with this one. So here what I will do is here I'm going to say self rel, and here what I will do is here I will put it something like this. Okay, and no need of these two things, and here we can say it like this. Okay, find all, and yeah, this needs to be entity model list. So this is how it is going to look like. You will say okay, Abhishek, it was so easy. You just said here entity model list instead of entity model, because this time it is list, and then you just added one single link. Okay, we didn't added the link to find owner as of now, but let's see how this one is going to look like. So I will again go here and I will make a change. So let's see how this one is going to look, guys. Okay, so it is started, and let's go here. So let's go on for this one, and let's click on send. So okay, it says content must not be a collection, use collection model instead. Okay, the problem is that since this is a list, you can't return, sorry, not that one. Since this is a list, you can't return it as entity model list of something. Okay, that is not possible. This doesn't works. Although it is not giving you any kind of compilation error, but it simply doesn't works. You need to do some other kind of things in order to return a list of entity model. Okay, for this, let's start doing the change. First of all, instead of writing the list here, so what we were saying, within entity model a list, but instead of it, what we have to say here is that remove the list part from here, somewhere here, and here you start saying that this time it is going to be collection model, because in your output also, see, it says the same thing. It should be a collection model. So here we will be seeing a collection model. Within collection model, we will be saying it like this. Okay, because you remember earlier what we were returning. So here we were returning owner detail, and there we were saying list of owner detail. Now here we are returning entity model of owner detail. So here we need to return list of entity model of owner detail, but there is nothing like that. So hence we need to return collection model of entity model of owner detail. Okay, so that is the thing, guys. So list of owner detail, and this time collection model, which is again like a list of entity model of owner detail. They are not calling it as a list because they want to make it general so that you can make usage the same thing for your list also, set also, and map also, as well as queues. Yeah, I don't know who is making usage of queues nowadays, but yeah, this is how the things are going to look like. So if that is the thing, which means that you can't return this entity model list here. Instead, here you need to return a collection model. So here let me say it as collection model. That means that here also you need to make a collection model. So here let me copy this particular part from here and let me paste it here, and here also let me write it as collection model. So here I will be saying it as collection model like this, so that it will start working fine. And yeah, this is going to look like this collection model. Okay, this one is looking nice. And then with this collection model, can I directly say it something as this particular one? Yeah, I can say it with directly collection model also. This is going to work. But then can I say entity model of? The answer is no. This time it is a collection model, so you will see the same thing. So here we are going to say collection model dot of. But can you directly provide a list? The answer is again no here. Within this of, you need to provide some iterable, some that particular object only. You can't directly provide owner detail list. It needs to be an entity model within the collection model. Okay, which means that if here I need to provide an entity model, so first of all I need to create that. So okay, let's start creating this. So here this time it is going to be list, and list of what? List of entity model, guys. So here we are going to pass it on something like this. Let me copy this particular part from here, let me paste it here, and yeah, this is how it is going to look like. So entity, and then this is going to be model, then this is going to be list, and yeah, this is how this one will look. And what I will do is I will be copying it from here, then I will be passing it on here, and yeah, this is how this one looks. Okay, entity model list, and later on you can say it as web, and yeah, this is how this one will be fine. So what we did, so first of all we need to return here collection model. We can't directly say entity model list. Okay, but then within the collection model we need to provide the list of entity model, so that we have to create. So only this part is left, entity model. Okay, so you will say that, okay Vishek, now I will be doing this. Okay, and no one can stop me from doing it. Entity model, and here I'm going to say owner DTO list, and yeah, and this is not going to work. Why this is not going to work? Because what it is going to return you, a list of owner DTO. What you basically want, you want a list of entity model of owner DTO, which is going to make your job bit more difficult. Okay, so things are not that easy here, guys. Okay, so now the question is how to do something like this. Okay, how to get a list of entity model of owner DTO and not directly. So we were having the list, so let's start doing. So we were having this owner DTO list, and the only option is we need to map. Okay, for map, if you don't know Java 8, it is going to be difficult. If you know, it may be a bit simple. You will say stream here. Then after this stream, you will be making usage of map method. So here you are going to say map. And here with this particular map, here what you will be returning, you need to return a list. So you will be saying it like this. And now within this particular map, what you will be seeing, here you are getting an owner detail, which is going to look something like this. And here with the next line, if you wish, you can provide it with the same line also. And there you can say entity model, and then you can say off, and then you can say that particular owner DTO. So this is how it is going to look like, guys. Okay, Control Shift O, Control Shift F. Okay, so this is the one. So you see, it is looking something like this. So what we did, first of all, we were having the list of owner DTO. Then we were iterating over it, and we are converting it to a list of entity model of owner DTO. Then we are converting it back to the collection model. And then on the collection model, we are returning the link. So now let me just save it and let's try to execute. Isn't this one difficult? I hope this one is the most difficult till now. Okay. But yeah, things are looking something like this. What we can do. Let's click on this and yeah. So here you see we are getting. So owner detail list. Now it is embedded within something. And if you just make it like this, you will see underscore links self, and then it is pointing to the self. Okay. You will say, okay, Abhishek, this is done and this demo is done, but not yet. Okay. The point is, you're showing the link for the complete list. What's the benefit? That is so easy. Isn't it more interesting if you can show that how to get a single element? Won't that be much more better? Because your manager will ask you something like this, that I don't want the whole list again. I want how to get a single element out of the list. So with every element, I want a link now. How to do that? Okay. The question is, now with every element, I want a link. So how to do it? It's not that difficult because we are already having this as entity model. So with every entity model, we just need to convert that particular link and all those things only. Okay. So let's see how to do it. So here we were saying entity model, and with this, can we say something as add? So yeah, that add is going to work. Now within that add, can we put up something, the same thing? Okay. So can I say this link find owner and with self rel? Okay. Obviously, it is not going to be self rel here because it should be something else, but let's try to put who cares. So let's add it directly like this. So within add, what I did this time is that I'm saying link to, then I'm saying method on, and then this one, and then I'm saying this find owner, and then how I will get this owner ID. So I will say owner DTO dot get ID. So I will get ID like this. And yeah, here then I will be not saying self rel, that won't sound good. I need to say here self with rel, and within this I will say here find owner. So it should be looking something like this. And what's the mistake here? The mistake here is, again, we need to take care of this try and catch block. So let's put up it like this. Okay. So, okay. So it looks like this owner DTO and then this. Okay. Within that map, we are doing this particular try catch. So it is putting it up like this. If you are fine with it, it's good. Otherwise, you can see here return null. That is also good, guys. Okay. And with return null only it is going to work. Now let me just execute the same code again. So with this, now let's see how the things are going to work. Afterwards, you can add any number. Okay, that's not an issue. Only the first one was creating. So now let's click on this one, and yeah, it's working fine, guys. Okay. Now see the magic. If I make it like this, you see there is one link for the overall, but then within every element, we are having the links to find the owner. So you click on this link, you will only get first owner. You click on this link, you will only get second owner. You click on this link, you will only get third owner, something like this. Okay. And now I can remove this extra line also. So it was a bit tricky, but yeah, it was enjoyable. Okay. So it completely depends on you how much data you want. If you will say, no, I don't want that find owner with every element, then also this collection model was only a bit difficult. But this, it became even much more difficult. You say, no, I don't want this HATEOAS with this at all, only with this. Then it was easier. Okay. So this is how the things are going to look like, guys. Now the question comes up is, which is very important. Should we have this HATEOAS, or was it HATEOAS? Okay, it is HATEOAS. See, I forgot the name only while explaining you this concept. Shabash beta. Bahut badhiya. So the question is this HATEOAS? I mean, how often should we add this HATEOAS? Because what we have seen is the moment we add it, then it is going to make our code clumsy. Now it is not that clean. Our controller classes, our controller methods are looking too big. So the answer is, the point is that you don't need to go to level 3. I mean, why do you want to go to level 3? What will you tell to your manager? I want to go to level 3. The question is why? It is fine with a level 2 also. So if you are making a RESTful application, level 2 is enough. At least and at max, you should be on level 2. Now if you say no, there is some requirement in my project and hence I need to go to level 3, then this demo is for you. You can again watch the demo and you can go to level 3. In case if it is not needed, no need to have it. That's why I kept it in the advanced topic. It was very easy for me to keep it as a part of a basic topic also, so that I will say that okay, every time we should go to level 3. But the point is we should not go to level 3. Okay, I mean, in my till career till now of 7+ years, I haven't made usage of HATEOAS that much. Okay, just for the theory and all these things, we have made usage of HATEOAS, and this is how the things are going to look like. Okay, or while explaining to someone, I had to use it. Otherwise, there was nothing as such. Okay, so this HATEOAS is not that common until unless your manager is asking you to do something like this. Okay, but now you know how this works, what it is. So maybe in some interview, if they are asking you, then you can tell how to edit. Otherwise, it's always good to learn new things. It's not necessary that you implement each and everything. Okay. So with this, let's close this demo. If you find it helpful, please like the video, share it with others, and let's see what we have in our next demo. Till then, bye bye.